Welcome to Beautiful Hatha Yoga at Home. This is Hatha practice. My name is Lexi, and Miss Mackenzie will be demoing our postures today for class. We'll get started in a standing position. In the middle of your mat, standing weight is even on both feet, toes and heels touch, arms to your sides. This is Tadasana or mountain pose. Reaching your fingertips energetically down toward your mat, shoulders draw down and back away from your ears as you find length up through the crown of your head toward the ceiling. This is an active, mindful posture. Maybe take a moment here simply to find your intention for class. You can imagine your favorite color, favorite person, favorite place. Maybe a word that has meaning for you. Something that you can be mindful of during your practice, especially when you notice that your mind is wanting to drift or wander, or maybe you find that you're becoming frustrated in a certain posture. Start to bring your awareness back to your body, and we'll get started with Pranayama Breath. With Pranayama Breath, you start with interlacing all 10 of your fingers and press the ball of knuckles up underneath your chin. Try to wiggle your elbows and forearms out to touch in front of you on your chest. This is the last time your arms will be down here in this position. With Pranayama Breath, it is a 6-second inhale through your nose as your arms will rise up toward the ceiling, and then it's a 6-second audible HATHA exhale out through your mouth as your eyes stay open, elbows stay lifted up off your chest as they come to touch out in front of you. Once elbows touch, they separate as you inhale, once again through your nose. Gaze returns toward yourself in the front wall. Elbows rise up toward the ceiling, forearms come to frame your face. Exhale, HATHA. Squeeze your belly button up and in toward your spine, expelling all that air out of your body using your intercostal strength. Elbows touch. They stay lifted as you inhale through your nose. Keep that internal 6-second count. Eyes stay open throughout this breath. Shoulders stay drawn down away from your ears. Elbows come up toward the ceiling. Gaze is up. Exhale, HATHA. Breathe your air out from your body. Use your strength here. Draw your belly button up and in toward your spine, expelling all that cold, stale air. Inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep this rhythm with your breath in this exercise. Pranayama breath not only is great for warming up your body for practice. With each inhale, you are drawing in fresh oxygen and energy, warming your body up, but it's also great for warming up your mind. At the beginning of your practice, when you focus solely on your breath, with each inhale and exhale, it helps to connect both your conscious and subconscious mind, bringing yourself here into this current space on your mat. We'll take 3 more rounds of breath here. Try to make them a little bit bigger than the one before. With each inhale, really fill up your entire lungs with that energy and oxygen. Exhale, HATHA. Squeeze that air out and away from your body. Elbows stay lifted as they slowly touch out in front of you. Inhale through your nose. Deep, slow, controlled breath. Motion in your arms matches your breath. Exhale, HATHA. Gaze is up at the ceiling. Keep your belly button tucked up tight toward your spine. Use your strength. Last round of breath here. Make it your biggest. Make it your best. Elbows are rising up toward the ceiling. At the top of your inhale, take 1 or 2 more sips of air. Exhale, HATHA. As loud as you can, squeeze that air out and away from your body. Once your elbows touch, release your arms down to your sides as we meet in Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, arms circle sweep overhead, interlace all 10 fingers, release your index fingers up toward the ceiling, and begin to tick-tock your body from side to side. Just moving right and left. This is not a formal yoga posture here, just warming up through the sides of your spine. Motion can be fast or slow, whatever feels good for you today. As you come back through center, hands stay up overhead, release your gaze up at the ceiling, shake out your head, yes, shake it no, relax the tension in your neck. Inhale, lift up through your chest as you start to draw an imaginary line on the ceiling between your index fingers. Eyes stay open, small, shallow sips of air in and out through your nose. Inhale, rise back up through center. Exhale, forward fold. Hands trace the midline of your body, coming all the way down to your mat. Now here, we pedal out your knees, right, left, right, left. Keep your heels glued down on the mat. This is to floss out your sciatic nerve. Now we have a few moments of free time in the Hatha series, so if you would like, you can take a vinyasa flow, maybe some side twists. Maybe you're just getting those snaps, crackles, and pops out of your elbows, wrist, fingers, maybe ankles, toes, knees, whatever feels good in your body. Hatha is a set series of 26 postures, which is great because you know what to expect every single time you come to a Hatha class. However, the set series of postures does not allow for any free creative movement. So take this time right here, right now, to do what feels good in your body. Slowly work your toes and heels back to touch in the middle of your mat. Find that familiar James Bond grip out in front of you, releasing your index fingers. As you inhale, rise up through center. And exhale, arms come to your sides, stand in Tadasana. Take a moment to reset. Inhale, arms draw overhead. Interlace all 10 fingers, find that familiar James Bond grip. Exhale to prepare, and as you inhale, reach your fingertips up and over toward the right side wall. Exhale to press your hips away to the left. This is Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, our first posture in the Hatha series. So you're creating that crescent shape here from the pinky edge of your right foot all the way up through your fingertips, reaching energetically out and away to touch the side wall. Make sure weight is even in your feet, not shifting the weight from side to side, toes and heels to touch. Legs are straight and strong. Belly button is drawn up and in toward your spine. Using your strength here, especially on the right side as you lift, reaching up and over. Shoulders draw down away from your ears. Arms are straight and strong. Biceps tight to the sides of your head. Press your palms and wrists tight together. There is no space between your hands. Inhale, slowly rise up through center. Exhale, up and over toward the opposite side this time. Opening up as you breathe into the right side of your body, using your strength here on the left side. Weight is still even in both of your feet. Make sure toes and heels are touching, legs are straight and strong. Belly button is drawn up and in toward your spine. Core is active. Shoulders draw down and back away from your ears. Biceps tight to the sides of your head. No bend in your elbows. Arms are straight and strong. Press your palms and wrists tight together. Chin should be slightly lifted up off your chest. Find that straight gaze out in front of you. One more round of breath. Inhale, reach further up and away to touch the left side wall. As you exhale, press your hips toward the right. Inhale, rise through center. Release your gaze toward the ceiling. Shake out your head, yes. Shake it, no. Release the tension in your neck. Inhale, lift up through your chest as you begin to draw that imaginary line on the ceiling. Taking your second back bend, eyes stay open, small, shallow sips of air in and out through your nose. With each inhale, that is your opportunity to try to look up and back further. As you exhale, press your hips forward toward the mirror. Inhale, slowly rise up through center. Exhale, forward fold. Hands trace the midline of your body, coming down to your mat. Once again, pedal your knees right, left to floss your sciatic nerve. Heels stay glued to the ground. This time we set up for hand to foot pose. Take a deep bend in your knees. Create a chest to thigh connection as you scoop up the back side of your heels. Pretend like your hands are tiny little forklifts. Try to get your pinkies to touch behind you as you wrap your forearms behind your calves. Maintain your chest to thigh connection as you inhale, lift your hips up toward the ceiling. As you exhale, use the strength in your arms to find length through the crown of your head down towards your mat. Eyes stay open. Keep the breath in and out through your nose. Maintain your chest-thigh connection to protect your hamstrings in this intense forward fold posture. One more round of breath here. Inhale, lift your hips up a little bit higher. Exhale, one more strong pull down and release. James Bond grip out in front. Inhale, rise through center with a flat back. And exhale, arms come to your sides. Second set, inhale, hands come overhead. Interlace all 10 fingers, release your index fingers. Exhale as you prepare. Inhale, reach up and over towards the right. Exhale, press your hips away toward the left side wall. Second set on the right side. So in Hatha, you'll notice that we do 2 sets of almost every single posture throughout the series. The reason we do 2 sets is to make sure that in the first set, you get familiar with the posture. You can start to build your muscle memory. In the second set, I encourage you to find the space where you were in the first round. And now work with your breath to find those micro movements, finding your edge here. One more round of breath. Inhale, reach your fingertips away toward the right. Exhale, press your hips to the left. Inhale, rise up through center, reach up tall. Exhale, up and over towards the left. Second set, left side. Make sure your shoulders and hips are both square to the wall in front of you. Chin is still lifted up off your chest. Keeping your airway open, shoulders draw down and back away from your ears. Over time, when done correctly and using your core strength in this posture, not only is it great for trimming and toning your waistline, but it also helps to open up the nerve endings that come out on either side of your spine, over time improving the functionality of your central nervous system. Inhale, rise back up through center, hands stay overhead. Release your gaze up at the ceiling as you shake out your head, yes. Shake it, no. Relax the tension in your neck. Inhale, lift up through your chest as you begin to round up and back. Draw that imaginary line on the ceiling between your index fingers. Eyes stay open, small, shallow sips of air in and out through your nose. Keep your chest lifted up toward the ceiling to protect your lower back in this back bend. Back bending can feel maybe awkward or even uncomfortable in your body, but back bending helps to relieve stress, opening up into your chest. Inhale, slowly rise up through center. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge at your hips, bend into your knees. One last time, floss your sciatic nerve, bending your knees right, left, heels stay glued to the ground. Second set of hand to foot pose, Tadasana. Deep bend in your knees, chest to thigh connection as you scoop up the back side of your heels. Hands, including your thumbs on the back side like they're little forklifts. Try to get your pinkies to touch behind you as you wrap your forearms behind your calves. Maintain your chest to thigh connection as you inhale, lift your hips up toward the ceiling. As you exhale, use the strength in your arms. Biceps are bulging as you find length through the crown of your head down towards your mat. Eyes stay open. Keep the breath in and out through your nose. One more exhale, big pull down. And release. James Bond grip out in front. Inhale, rise up through center with the flat back. Exhale, arms to your sides. Meet in Tadasana, mountain pose. We're working into chair, Uttanasana. Take a 6-inch step out with your right foot. Feet should be hip-width distance apart. If you need to measure what this is for your body, you can take your two fists together and place them between your big toes, arches in your feet, and your heels. This will ensure that your feet are not too far apart, too close together, and that they are parallel with one another. Once you have your stance, arms come out in front of you, parallel to the ground, palms face down. All fingers are glued together. Draw your shoulders down and back, and as you exhale, sit down low. Send the weight into your heels. Send your hips toward the back wall, almost like you're trying to sit into a tiny imaginary kindergarten chair behind you on your mat. With each inhale, lift up through the crown of your head and your chest, and as you exhale, sink your hips down lower. One day, someday, bending at a 90-degree angle in your knees until the bottom part of your thigh is parallel to the ground. One more exhale, sit lower. Inhale, slowly press up through your heels, rise up through center, come onto your tiptoes, heels lift high up off the mat, arms stay parallel to the ground. Heels come up as high as you possibly can get them. Once you have the height in your heels, keep them there as you bend into your knees and slide down an imaginary wall behind you. Keep your shoulders stacked over your hips, not leaning forward, not leaning back. Shaking is good. You're building strength back into your feet. This is strength that you lose each and every day by wearing shoes. The strength that you build here in this posture will help you when it comes time for our balancing series. Inhale, slowly rise up through center, release your heels down, arms stay out in front. This time, lift your heels up just enough that you can squeeze your inner thighs and knees tight together. Once you have that tight squeeze, keep your shoulders stacked in line over your hips as you slide down an imaginary wall behind you. Use your strength. Imagine that you just won the lottery ticket and that little ticket is stuck between your legs and it's really, really windy. So squeeze your legs tight together, and as you exhale, try to slide down just a little bit further. If you can make it all the way down today with your hips hovering above your heels, if you have healthy knees, take a few bounces, and then slower than you want to, press back up through center, squeeze your legs tight the whole time. And release. Toes and heels touch, arms to your sides, Tadasana. Take a moment, reset. Second set, find that familiar imprint in your mat, or maybe remeasure with your two fists if needed. Once you have your stance, arms come out in front of you, parallel to the ground, palms face down. Draw your shoulders down and back behind you. Exhale, sit down low. Send your hips toward the back wall. Weight shifts into your heels. Weight has shifted into your heels so much that you should be able to lift your toes up off the mat and give them a little bit of a wiggle. Making sure that you can peek down and see your knees tracking straight forward over your toes. So your knees are not turning in or turning out here in this posture. One more exhale, sit a little bit lower, hold for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, press up through center, rise up onto your tiptoes, heels come high up off the mat, press your ankles forward towards the front edge of your mat. Arms stay parallel to the ground. And once you have the height in your heels, begin to bend into your knees and slide down that imaginary wall behind you. Keep your shoulders stacked over your hips, not leaning forward, not leaning back. Use your strength. This posture is also great for helping with chronically cold feet and plantar fasciitis. On your next inhale, slowly rise up through center. Arms stay to parallel as you release your heels down to the mat. Lift your heels up just enough that you can squeeze your inner thighs and knees tight together. Once you have that squeeze, as you exhale, slide down the wall behind you. Keep your shoulders stacked over your hips, lowering down slowly with control to use your strength, not leaning forward and not leaning back to compromise this posture. One day, someday, when you are all the way down, as you bring your hips to hover above your heels, you can take a few bounces if you have healthy knees, and then slowly press up through center, squeeze your legs tight the whole time, and release. Arms to your sides, toes and heels touch, standing in Tadasana. Up next is Garudasana, Eagle Pose. Inhale, arms circle sweep overhead. Relax both of your shoulders. As you exhale, swing your right arm under your left. Cross, wrap, and a twist. Palm to palm, thumbs toward your nose. If you cannot get this grip today, reach for opposite shoulders. Sink your hips down low and send your right leg high up and over your left. Try to tuck your toes back around behind your left calf. If you cannot get the tuck of your toes today, energetically point them in that direction, knowing that one day, someday, that is your goal. No matter where you're at, work with your breath to find your edge here. With each inhale, find length up through the crown of your head toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, squeeze your arms down and tight. Sink your hips lower, squeeze your legs tight together. Inhale, release. Hands come overhead, relax your shoulders. Exhale, left side. Left arm under right, cross, wrap in a twist, palm to palm, thumbs toward your nose. Sink your hips low. This time, send your left leg high up and over your right. Try to tuck your toes back around behind your calf as you send your hips lower. Really squeeze your arms down in tight. One day, someday, trying to see over the tips of your fingers. With each inhale, find length up through your chest, the crown of your head. One more exhale, sink your hips low, squeeze down tight. Inhale, release. Hands come overhead, relax your shoulders. Exhale, second set, right side, right arm under left. Right leg comes high up and over. Cross, wrap in a twist, palm to palm, thumbs are toward your nose. Maybe you notice that your knees start to turn out toward the left side of your body. If you notice that's happening in your posture, use the strength in the lower half of your body to work your knees back to midline. So one day, someday, you have wrists stacked over elbows, over knees, over ankles. One more exhale, sit low, squeeze tight. Inhale, release. Hands come overhead. Relax both shoulders. Exhale, second set, left side. Left arm under right. Left leg comes high up and over. Palms touch, thumbs toward your nose. Find your balance here. Maybe you notice those little muscles start to activate in your right foot as you work to stand here on one leg. No matter where you're at, this is our second set. So work with your breath to really find your edge, your depth. That uncomfortable compression that you're working to build in this posture helps all of your major joints to build strength and flexibility. Inhale, release. Hands come overhead. And exhale, arms to your sides, Tadasana. This is our first official water break of the HATHA series, so if you would like, you can take a moment here to find a small sip of water. Please remember that if you are taking water throughout your practice, small sips are better than big gulps. We will be on our belly later on in the series. Up next is standing forehead to knee, Dandayamana Janyu Shirshasana. Shift the weight into your left foot, come onto your right toes. Keep your left leg straight and strong, no bend in your left knee. As you inhale, draw your right knee up at hip height. Toes stay flexed toward your face. Find your balance here. Once you have your balance, as you exhale, round down. Walk your hands down the front side of your shin to find a basket grip underneath your right foot. Basket grip is webbing to webbing, thumbs included. Toes stay flexed toward your face no matter where you are. If you cannot get the grip underneath your foot, find it somewhere along the front of your shin. Once you've found your grip, as you inhale, lift up through your chest to protect your lower back. If you still have the grip underneath your foot, and if your left leg is straight and strong, on your next exhale, begin to press your right heel out and away from your body at hip height. Heel stays at hip height to protect both your lower back and your hamstring in this pose. Right toes stay flexed toward your face. Once your right leg is extended straight out in front of you, inhale, lift up through your chest. Exhale, begin to round down. Wrap your elbows and forearms down around your calf. Maybe gaze comes toward your right big toe. One day, someday, gaze down toward your mat as you work your forehead to touch your knee. One day, someday, forehead to knee for an entire 60 seconds. And if you fall out, that's okay. Practice. This is yoga practice, not yoga perfect. Slowly start to work your right heel back in and release it down to meet the left. Take a moment to reset here in Tadasana. Left side, shift the weight into your right foot, come up onto your left toes. Inhale, left knee draws up at hip height. Toes stay flexed toward your face. Right leg stays straight and strong. As you exhale, begin to round down. Walk your hands down the front side of your left shin until you can find a grip underneath your foot. That basket grip is webbing to webbing, thumbs included. Left toe stay flexed toward your face no matter where you are. As you inhale, lift up through your chest, protect your lower back. On your next exhale, if you have the basket grip today, including your thumbs, and if your right leg is straight and strong, no bend in your knee, start to press your heel out and away from your body at hip height. Left toe stay flexed toward your face. If your left leg is extended straight out in front of you today, inhale, lift up through your chest, and as you exhale, begin to wrap your elbows and forearms down around your left calf. One day, working your gaze down slowly toward your big toe, down toward your mat. Maybe try to give your forehead to knee connection a tap today. See how that works with your balance in your body. Slowly start to work your left heel back in toward your hip and release. Left foot comes down to meet the right. Take a moment to reset in Tadasana. Second set, right side, shift the weight into your left foot, come onto your right toes. Inhale, draw your right knee up at hip height, toes stay flexed toward your face. Exhale, round down. Walk your hands down your shin to find your basket grip wherever you're at today. Inhale, lift up through your chest, toes stay flexed toward your face. On your next exhale, if you have a straight, strong standing leg, and if you have the basket grip under your right foot, start to press your right heel out and away from your body at hip height. Heel is at hip height to protect your hamstring and your lower back. If you have your leg extended out straight today, no bend in either knee, inhale, lift up through your chest, and as you exhale, you can start to round down. Try to see if you can get a forehead to knee connection here. One day, someday, knowing that that is the goal in this pose. Slowly start to draw your right heel back in and release your right foot down to meet the left. Take a moment, reset in Tadasana. Second set, left side, shift the weight into your right foot. Come on your left toes. Inhale, draw your left knee up at hip height. Toes stay flexed toward your face. As you exhale, begin to round down. Walk your hands down the front side of your left shin to find your basket grip under your foot or along your shin today. Inhale, lift up through your chest no matter where you're at. Toes stay flexed. On your next exhale, if you have the basket grip under your foot and if your right leg is straight and strong, start to press your heel out and away from your body at hip height. Left toe stay flexed toward your face no matter what. Try to find a drishti here, a focal point, something a few feet ahead of you that is not moving. You can keep your focus on this spot to help with your balance in this pose. Holding steady and strong here. Find your balance for 3, 2, 1. Slowly draw your left heel back in toward your hip and release. Left foot comes to meet the right. Take a moment to reset in Tadasana. Our next posture is standing bow, Dandayamana Dhanurasana. Right elbow comes to your right hip crease, palm faces up. Reach around for the inside of your right foot. So the soft part of your elbow is facing the side wall. Fingertips, including your thumb, right about where your shoelaces would be on the top of your foot. As you inhale, draw your left hand up overhead. Palm facing the wall in front of you, all fingers glued together. Bicep is by your ear. As you exhale, begin to kick into the palm of your right hand. As you hinge at your hips, bringing your upper body parallel to your mat. Try to find a gaze over your left middle fingertip. One day, someday, left arm parallel to the ground as well. Equal kick, equal reach, and this posture will help you to not only find, but to maintain your balance as well. With each inhale, reach through your left fingertips with intensity, and as you exhale, point your right toes up toward the ceiling, kick up higher away from your body. Focus on keeping your left leg straight and strong, no bend in your left knee. Right toes stay pointed up toward the ceiling. One more round of breath to find your edge. Inhale, reach through your left fingertips. Exhale, kick up higher, and slowly release with control. Right foot comes to meet the left. Left side, left elbow to your left hip crease, palm faces up. Reach around for the inside of your left foot. Soft part of your elbow facing the side wall. Inhale, right hand comes up overhead, bicep by your ear, palm facing the front wall, all fingers glued together. As you exhale, begin to kick up and away from your body. Point your left toes up toward the ceiling as you kick as hard as you can into the palm of your hand. Hinge at your hips, bring your upper body lower to the mat. One day, someday, it is parallel. The goal in this posture is to get standing splits one day. If you have the flexibility in your spine, you can start to slide the grip with your left hand further down onto your ankle, maybe even onto your left shin. One more round of breath here. Inhale, reach with intensity through your right fingertips. Exhale, point your left toes, kick up higher, and slowly release. Left foot comes to meet the right. Stand in Tadasana. Take a moment here, reset. Let go of any expectations that you had for yourself here in your practice today. Second set, right side, right elbow to your right hip crease, palm faces up. Reach around for the inside of your right foot. Soft part of your elbow facing the side wall. Inhale, left hand comes up overhead, bicep by your ear, palm facing the front wall, all fingers glued together. Exhale, kick up and away from your body. Kick into the palm of your right hand, right toe stay pointed up toward the ceiling. Focus on your drishti. With each inhale, reach through your left fingertips with intensity, and as you exhale, point your right toes up toward the ceiling, kicking higher up and away from your body. So in this posture, not only are you creating strength in the backside by kicking into the palm of your hand, but you're also creating flexibility in your shoulders, opening up into your chest and your hips as well. Slowly release with control. Right foot comes to meet the left. Second set, left side. Left elbow to your left hip crease, palm faces up. Reach around for the inside of your left foot. Soft part of your elbow is facing the side wall. Inhale, right hand comes overhead, bicep by your ear, palm facing the front wall, fingers glued together. Exhale, kick up and away from your body. Kick as hard as you can into the palm of your left hand. Second set here on the left side, so work with your breath to find your edge here, knowing that one side of your body might be different than the other, and that's okay. Yoga is working to help find that balance in your body. One more round of breath. Inhale, reach with intensity through your right fingertips. Exhale, kick up higher away from your body and slowly release. Left foot comes to meet the right. Take a moment to reset in Tadasana. This time, take a large step to the back edge of your mat for Tula Dandasana, balancing a stick. Toes and heels to touch. Inhale, hands come overhead. Interlace all 10 fingers, release your index fingers. Find that familiar James Bond grip. Take a large step with your right foot. As it plants, point, lock, and lift your left toes. Upper body down, leg up. Hinge at your hips to create that capital T shape. Gaze is down at your mat, biceps tight by the sides of your head. Point your toes toward the back wall. Roll your left hip down, parallel to the ground. Inhale, rise up through center. Right foot comes to meet the left. Left side, large step with your left foot. As it plants, point, lock, and lift your right toes. Upper body down, leg up. Creating a capital T shape. Roll your right hip down parallel to your mat. Point your fingertips forward toward the wall in front of you as you reach through your toes towards the back wall. Inhale, slowly rise up through center. Left foot steps to meet the right. Exhale, arms to your sides. Take a moment to reset. Balancing stick is a very intense posture for your body as your heart works in this posture to pump blood to all of your major extremities, from your fingers down to touch your toes. The good news is that we only hold this posture for about 10 seconds. You can do anything for 10 seconds, I promise you that. So second set, let's go. Inhale, hands come overhead. Find that familiar grip. Large step with your right foot. As it plants, point, lock, and lift your left toes. Upper body down, leg up. Roll your left hip down, parallel to the mat. Imagine that someone is playing tug-of-war here with your body. So reach your fingertips forward, point your toes toward the back wall. Inhale, rise up through center. Right foot meets the left, hands stay overhead, large step with your left foot. As it plants, point, lock, and lift your right toes, upper body down, leg up. Creating that capital T shape. Second set, last side here. Gaze is down at your mat, biceps tight by the sides of your head. Inhale, rise up through center. Left foot steps to meet the right. Exhale, arms to your sides. Take a quarter turn to face the left side wall. Still at the back edge of your mat. As you inhale, circle sweep, hands come overhead, palms touch. Exhale, large step out to the side. Toes slightly turned for stability, arms to parallel. Inhale, draw your chest up and through, tailbone tilts up toward the ceiling, and as you exhale, lead with your chin, swan dive down toward your mat as you forward fold. Hinging at your hips. Bring your grip to the outside of your shins, ankles, maybe even underneath your heels, depending on where your flexibility is at today. Make sure the grip is including your thumbs. No lonely thumbs in this posture. Weight shifts further into your toes, as if you're trying to stack your hips above your heels. Gaze is at an imaginary line between your heels at the back edge of your mat. No matter where you're at today with your grip, work with your breath to find this stretch. As you inhale, lift your hips higher toward the ceiling, and as you exhale, use the strength in your arms to find length through the crown of your head down toward your mat. Eyes stay open, breath is in and out through your nose. One more round of breath here. Inhale, lift your hips higher toward the ceiling. Exhale, one more, pull down and release. Arms to parallel. Inhale, reverse swan dive, rising through center. Our next posture is Trikonasana, triangle pose. So make sure you have a wide enough stance in your feet. Ankles are stacked under wrists. Right toes turn to face the front of your mat. Start to take a few lunges here into your right knee. Find your right knee stacked over your right ankle. Once you are in your low lunge, use your strength to stay there. Flip your palms to face the side wall. Gaze is back at your left fingertips. As you exhale, upper body tilts down. Find a connection here with your right elbow on the inside soft part of your right knee. Gaze is still up at your left fingertips. This is a very intense posture to hold. That's why it's our pinnacle posture here in the Hatha series. With each inhale, reach with intensity through your left fingertips as if you could touch the ceiling. And as you exhale, lunge deeper into your right knee, sink your hips a little bit lower. Inhale, rise through center. Right toes turn in, left toes turn to face the back wall. Take a few lunges into your left knee. Find your knee stacked over your ankle. Once you are in your low lunge, keep yourself there. Use your strength. Flip your palms to face the side wall. Gaze back at your right fingertips. Exhale, upper body tilts down. Find that connection with your elbow on the inside soft part of your knee. One day, someday, chin to shoulder connection as you keep your gaze up at your right hand. Hands are at 12 and 6 o'clock. Maybe check in with your lower left fingertips. They should be hovering right above that imaginary flip-flop line, right between your big and second toe. One more round of breath here on this side. Inhale, reach up toward the ceiling. One more exhale, lunge deep, sink your hips lower. Inhale, rise through center. Left toes turn in and right foot meets the left, hands overhead. Exhale, arms to your sides. Second set, inhale, arms circle sweep overhead, palms touch. Exhale, large step out to the side. Toes are turned for stability, arms to parallel. Inhale, lift your chest up, tilt your tailbone toward the ceiling, and as you exhale, swan dive down, lead with your chin, hinging at your hips to fold forward. Slide your grip down until one day, someday, you find the grip underneath your heels. Make sure you have no lonely thumbs. Shift the weight further into your toes. Try to stack your hips above your heels. Gaze is at that invisible line between your heels at the back edge of your mat. As you inhale, lift your hips higher toward the ceiling, and as you exhale, use the strength in your arms to find length through the crown of your head down toward your mat. If your head feels like it's a million miles away from the ground, try to take a wider stance with your feet. See how that changes the posture in your body. And if your head is easily touching the mat today or you're close to it, take a closer stance. Really try to challenge yourself. One more exhale, big pull down and release. Arms to parallel. Inhale, reverse swan dive, rise through center. Second set of Trikonasana, triangle pose. Make sure you have a wide enough stance. Ankles are stacked under your wrists. Right toes turn to face the front wall. Take a few lunges here into your right knee. Knee stacks over ankle. Use your strength to stay low in your lunge. Palms flip to face the side wall. Gaze is back at your fingertips. Exhale, upper body tilts down. Create a straight line here from the pinky edge of your left foot all the way up through the crown of your head. So really press as you ground down through the pinky edge side of your left foot, not collapsing into your arch, but using your strength here. Every muscle is working from your toes all the way up through your left fingertips. One more exhale, lunge deeper. Inhale, rise through center. Right toes turn in, left toes turn to face the back wall. Take a few lunges into your left knee. Find your knee stacked over your ankle. Once you have your low lunge, keep yourself there as you flip your palms. Gaze is back at your right fingertips. Exhale, upper body tilts down. Once you've found that connection with your elbow on the inside soft part of your knee, keep your gaze up at your right fingertips. Maybe start to engage the strength just slightly in your left arm as you press it against the inside soft part of your left knee. Feeling that stretch opening here on the front of your hips. One more cycle of breath. Inhale, reach up higher toward the ceiling. One more exhale, lunge deep, sink your hips. Inhale, rise through center. Left toes turn in and right foot meets the left. Hands overhead. Exhale, arms to your sides. Take a quarter turn to face the front edge of your mat. Once there, bring your hands to your hips and take a 3-foot step out with your right foot. So 3 feet is about half the distance of your mat, maybe even a little bit wider stance if you are tall. Make sure your left toes are turned at a 45-degree angle and that your hips are square to the wall in front of you. Inhale, bring your arms overhead and cross only your thumbs this time. As you exhale, start with tucking your chin tight to your chest as you round down. Really focus on rounding one vertebrae at a time. Draw your belly button up and in tight toward your spine and get a forehead to knee connection here. So bend into your right knee as much as it takes to get your forehead to knee connection today. If you're feeling off balance in this posture, you can separate your hands, maybe even bring one hand to the back of your head or your neck to use gravity to get a deep connection here in this pose. No matter where you're at, eyes stay open as you keep the breath in and out through your nose. If your hands have not separated, pressing down through the pinky edge of your hands. Making sure that your left foot does not leave the mat here. With each inhale, breathe deep into the back side of your lungs like you're trying to lift your shoulder blades with your breath. One more exhale, round down tight. And as you inhale, slowly rise through center. Bring your hands back to touch if they have separated. Stacking one vertebrae at a time, chin is the last to lift. Right foot meets the left. And exhale, arms come to your sides, Tadasana, mountain pose. Left side, take a 3-foot step out with your left foot. Right toes are turned at a 45-degree angle. Make sure you have a wide enough stance as you bring your hands to your hips, square your body to the wall in front of you. Inhale, draw your arms overhead, cross your opposite thumb this time. As you exhale, tuck your chin tight to your chest, round down. Keep your chin tucked tight to your chest as you focus on rounding down one vertebrae at a time. Bend into your left knee as much as it takes to get a forehead to knee connection here. Make sure your eyes stay open as you keep the breath in and out through your nose. I know this posture can be uncomfortable. Maybe you even feel that slight choking sensation. But I promise that you can breathe through that discomfort, and the discomfort that you're finding here in this pose, the benefits of this pose far outweigh the discomfort that you might be feeling. In this posture, when you get your forehead to your knee and you tuck your chin tight to your chest, you get compression on both your thyroid and parathyroid. That compression helps to regulate your metabolism, your hormones, your emotions, and your stress levels. If your hands have separated, bring them back to touch, cross your thumbs, and as you inhale, rise one vertebrae at a time, moving slowly with control. Chin is the very last to lift. Left foot meets the right. Exhale, bring your arms to your sides, Tadasana, mountain pose. Next, we are working into Vrikshasana or tree. Shift the weight into your left foot, come on your right toes. Inhale, draw your right knee up and bring your right foot into your left hip crease. Reach around here to find a bicep curl grip. So your hand should disappear behind your foot, fingertips and thumb right about where your shoelaces would be. If it's comfortable for your right knee, you can start to release it down. One day it will be in alignment with the left. You can bring your right hand to heart center and find your balance. Focus on a drishti here. With each inhale, find length up through your chest and the crown of your head toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, engage your glutes. Press your hips forward towards the front wall. Finding that stretch here on the front side of your hips. Focus on your balance, knowing that tree is a meditative posture. So we are working here to start to slow your heart rate down as you breathe in and out through your nose. On your next exhale, we're working into toe stand. Start to hinge at your hips as you bend deep into your left knee. If you find tightness in the back side of your hips, you can always allow your right ankle to slide a little bit further down your leg. That will allow for more space. Make sure you release your hands out in front of you if needed for balance as you slowly begin to lower down. Bend deep into your knee so much that you pop up onto your left toes. Bring your hips all the way down until they hover right above your heel. Really draw your belly button up and in tight. Use your core strength to hover your hips above your heels so you're not resting here. If you're all the way down, you can bring your hands out on either side of you for balance. Maybe play with your balance here. Try to bring one hand to heart center, maybe the other, maybe both one day. And if you fall out, that's okay too. Know that yoga is practice. It is not perfect. If you are not all the way down today, that's all right. Just focus on the stretch here on the back side of your hips, knowing that this is our counter posture to tree. If you are all the way down, plant your hands out in front of you. As you inhale, lift up through your hips. Try to say hello to tree, and then release. Right foot will come down to meet the left. Left side, shift the weight into your right foot. Come onto your left toes. Inhale, draw your left knee up, and bring your left foot into your right hip crease. Reach around here to find your bicep curl grip as you bring your left knee back and down to meet the right one day. Allow your left hand to come to heart center if that's comfortable on your left knee. Work with your breath to find the stretch in this posture. As you inhale, find length up through the crown of your head toward the ceiling. As you exhale, engage your glutes. Press your hips forward. One day, someday, trying to get your left knee in line with your right. Find your drishti. Focus on your balance. Slowly begin to work into toe stand as you hinge at your hips. You can release your hands for balance if needed. Bend deep into your right knee As you start to pop up onto your right toes, bring your hips all the way down one day until they hover above your heel. If you're still working yourself into toe stand, start to feel that stretch on the back side of your hips. And if you are all the way down today, try to play with your balance. Maybe bring one hand to heart center or the other. One day, someday, bringing both hands to heart center. If you're all the way down, plant your hands out in front of you. Inhale, lift up through your hips. Maybe say hello to tree. And release. Left foot comes down to meet the right. We'll take 3 cleansing breaths here before your transitional Shavasana. Inhale, circle sweep, hands come overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands through heart center. 2 more. Inhale, big breath in, palms touch overhead. Exhale, draw hand through heart center. Last one. Inhale, deep breath through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Hands through heart center. Maybe take a bow to your standing postures. Quickly roll over onto your back, head towards the front of your mat, feet to the back edge of the mat. Arms to your sides. Eyes stay open here in your transitional Shavasana. Eyes stay open to keep your mind awake and active. Anytime you close your eyes for more than just a blink, your brain waves change and your mind starts to think that it's time for rest. And we know that's not necessarily the case here in this posture. We still have more work to do throughout practice. But rather, in this pose, you are working to find stillness in your physical body. Maybe you start to notice the differences in how you feel now compared to how you felt when you first rolled out your mat for practice today. If you find that your mind is wanting to drift, draw your focus back to your intention that you set for yourself at the beginning of practice. Keep yourself here in this present state. Slowly start to bring that awareness back to your physical body. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Maybe rock the back of your head from side to side. On your next inhale, draw your right knee up and around the outside of your rib cage. Find a basket grip along the front of your shin, about 2 inches below your knee. And as you exhale, work to squeeze your leg down and around the outside of your body. This is Pavanamuktasana, wind removing pose. Make sure that both your right foot and leg are completely relaxed. With each exhale, use only the strength in your arms to squeeze your leg down tight, almost like you're trying to get your knee all the way into your armpit one day. If you notice that your left calf is popping off the mat, you can keep your left toes flexed toward your face. Make sure the back of your head is still on the ground as you roll both shoulders back and down to touch the mat behind you. One more exhale, big squeeze down and around, and release. Right leg falls to meet the left. As you inhale, this time draw your left knee up and around. As you find your basket grip along the front of your shin. With your exhale, squeeze your leg down and around tight. On this side, we work to find compression on your left side internal organs. Make sure your left leg and foot are both completely relaxed. Only use the strength here in your grip and in your arms to find that deep compression. Eyes stay open. Keep the breath in and out through your nose. Roll both shoulders back and down to touch the mat behind you. As you inhale, find length through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, give one more big squeeze down as tight as you can. Slowly release. Left leg falls long to meet the right. Inhale, this time draw both knees up into your torso. Reach around the front side of your shins for opposite wrists, forearms, or elbows. Wherever you can reach today, make sure the back of your head stays down on the mat. Try to bring your knees to touch if they have separated, and make sure your ankles stay uncrossed. As you exhale, use the strength in your arms to squeeze both legs down in tight. In this posture, you're working to find compression on both the right and left side simultaneously. This compression helps your body to fight against any digestive issues you may suffer from. It also helps with detoxification and elimination. One more exhale, big squeeze as tight as you can, and slowly release. Legs fall down long at the back edge of your mat. Up next, we'll be doing a transitional sit-up. So if you suffer from lower back injuries, issues, or pain, or if you are pregnant, please roll over onto your belly, head to the mirror. Please roll over onto your belly, head toward the front of your mat, feet toward the back wall. First, I will talk you through how to do this transitional sit-up, and then we will do it together. You start by zippering up your legs, toes and heels touch as you flex your toes back toward your face. Then you will bring your hands up overhead, back of your hands resting down on the ground. Cross only your thumbs, palms face up toward the ceiling. Then to prepare, you will exhale, get all the air out of your body. And on an inhale, you will sit up, reaching your fingertips up toward the ceiling. And on a double audible exhale, it sounds like this. You will fold forward and reach your fingers down to touch your toes. Let's begin. Legs zipper up, toes and heels touch. Flex your toes back toward your face. Hands come overhead. Cross only your thumbs, palms face up. Exhale as you prepare. Inhale, sit up, reach up for the ceiling. Exhale. Folding forward, getting all the air out of your body. Slowly roll over onto your belly, head towards the front edge of your mat, feet toward the back. We're setting up for Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. So plant your hands underneath your shoulders like you just got done doing a push-up. Zipper up your legs tight behind you, toes and heels come to touch. Press through the tops of your feet down into the mat so much that you feel your kneecaps lift and your quads activate. Draw your elbows down and back tight behind you like little grasshopper legs. Exhale as you prepare. Inhale, peel your chin and chest up off the mat. Gaze lifted, chin lifted, chest lifted. There is little to no weight in your hands here in this posture. Only use the strength in your lower back. With each inhale, try to lift up higher, use your strength, and as you exhale, press the tops of your feet into your mat. Maintain your height. Exhale, slowly release, coming all the way down, arms to your sides, gaze at the right, left ear down on your mat. Second set, hands plant underneath you, legs zipper up tight behind you. If you are working towards spine flexibility, maybe wiggle your fingertips down closer around your rib cage. Exhale as you prepare. Inhale, peel your chin and chest up off of the mat. Gaze lifted, chin lifted, chest is lifted. There is little to no weight in your hands. Really press through the tops of your feet down into your mat. One more round of breath to find your edge. Inhale, lift up higher. Exhale, maintain. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Arms to your sides, gaze at the left. Right ear is down on your mat. Our next posture is Locust Pose. To get into Locust, start by wiggling up one shoulder, one hip at a time to bring your arms underneath you, palms face down, as you create a connection between your hip on your forearm. Make sure that your palms face down into the mat, almost as if you're trying to bump an imaginary volleyball down into the ground. Spread your fingertips out wide. Make sure your chin stays planted in this posture that is critical to protecting your spine. As you exhale to prepare, completely relax your left leg. As you inhale, point, lock, and lift your right leg. Point your toes toward the back wall, straighten out your leg, no bend in your knee. Roll your right hip down, create that connection with your hip on your forearm as you pulse up higher for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, slowly release. Right leg is completely relaxed. Inhale, point, lock, and lift your left leg this time. Roll your hip down. Create that connection with your hip on your forearm. Straighten out your leg. No bend in your knee. Point your toes toward the back wall. Pulse up higher for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, slowly release. This time, begin to wiggle your fingertips down closer to touch your knees. Because good news is that if you can do one leg at a time, you can most definitely do both at the same time. Make sure that your chin and lips are both planted in the mat, critical to protecting your spine in the next round of this posture. Exhale as you prepare. Inhale, point, lock, and lift both legs up behind you. If your toes and heels have separated, try to bring them back together to touch. Press the weight into your hands, press into your forearms, roll further onto your shoulders. Inhale, lift up a little bit higher. Exhale, release. You can wiggle out your arms on either side of your body. Maybe you feel that tingling sensation up your forearms into your elbows. That posture can be extremely uncomfortable, but that discomfort actually helps your body. The discomfort that you might be feeling from that compression actually helps your body to prevent against and to heal tennis elbow and carpal tunnel. Up next is full locust. So bring your arms out to either side of your body, creating a capital T shape like little airplane wings. Zipper up your legs tight behind you, toes and heels touch. Exhale as you prepare. Inhale, everything will point, lock, and lift up off of your mat. Gaze lifted, chin lifted, chest lifted, arms lifted, heels lifted, toes pointed as you roll the way onto the pointy part of your hips. Exhale, release. Everything comes down. Take a moment here to reset. Second set, find your airplane wings out on either side of your body. Zipper up your legs tight behind you. Exhale as you prepare. Inhale, everything will point, lock, and lift up off of your mat. One day, someday, everything on one level plane here. Roll the weight into the pointy part of your hips. Inhale, lift up a little bit higher. Exhale, release. Arms to your sides. Take a moment to reset. Our last belly down posture is floor bow, Dhanurasana. Bend into your knees, bring your heels toward your glutes. Reach around for the outside of your feet, fingertips including your thumbs right about where your shoelaces would be. If you can only reach for one foot, that's okay, we'll do 2 sets. So do one and then the other. Exhale as you prepare. Inhale, kick into the palms of your hands. Point your toes toward the wall in front of you as you roll the weight onto the soft part of your belly. Gaze lifted, chin lifted, chest lifted, creating a beautiful back bend, teardrop shape. One more inhale, kick up a little bit higher. Exhale, release. Release the grip around your feet. And if you'd like, allow your legs to take a gentle windshield wiper from side to side, releasing any tension that might have built up in your lower back. Second set, to rebend into your knees, bring your heels toward your glutes. Reach around for the outside of your feet, fingertips including your thumbs right about where your shoelaces would be. Exhale as you prepare. Inhale, kick into the palms of your hands. Point your toes toward the wall in front of you. Roll the weight onto the soft part of your belly. Gaze lifted, chin lifted, chest lifted. One more inhale, kick up a little bit higher. Exhale, release. Allow everything to come down. Allow your legs to windshield from side to side if that feels good. And slowly press yourself up through tabletop as you scoot on your knees to the front edge of your mat. Come to sit down on your heels. We're setting up for reclined hero, Supta Vajrasana. Once you're sitting on your heels, we get into this posture by separating your feet just enough that you can wiggle your hips down and back to sit on the mat behind you. Make sure that as you work into this posture, your knees do not separate any further than shoulder distance apart. Sometimes it can help to roll out your calf muscles on either side, creating a little bit more space for your knees. If your hips are not down on the mat today, press the weight into your hands and walk your hands one at a time behind your body. And as you inhale, engage your glutes. Lift your hips up high toward the ceiling as you feel the stretch on the inside of your hips. If your glutes are resting down on the mat today, and if this is comfortable on your knees, make sure they do not separate any further than shoulder distance apart as you reach for the inside soles of your feet and slowly start to recline yourself back and down like a little beach chair. One forearm, one elbow, maybe one day, even one shoulder at a time until you're all the way down on your mat. If you were all the way down today, and if your knees did separate, try to bring them back to touch in front of you as you bring your hands overhead. Reach for opposite forearms or elbows as you tuck your chin toward your chest. Gaze is down towards your belly button. Slowly begin to press yourself up through center, pressing one elbow, one forearm, one wrist at a time. Or if your hands were behind you, walking your hands back until we meet in a tabletop position. Once in tabletop, scoot on your knees to the back edge of your mat and come to sit down on your heels as we set up for half tortoise Ardha Karmasana. Arms are at your side. As you inhale, draw your hands overhead. Cross only your thumbs. Use the strength in your core as you lower down slowly. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Maintain a flat back. Coming all the way down to your mat. Once you are all the way down, make sure your forearms stay lifted. Really press the pinky edge of your hands down into the ground. Forehead is on the mat, maybe even the bridge of your nose one day if you have the space. With each round of breath, you're creating a little seesaw-like motion in your body. So as you inhale, press your fingertips forward towards the front edge of your mat. And as you exhale, press your hips back and down to touch your heels. This motion and this posture helps to create length and space between the vertebrae in your spine, helping to undo the effect that gravity has on your body each and every day. On your next inhale, use the strength in your core as you rise up through center. Try to maintain a flat back, biceps stay tight by the sides of your head. Exhale, arms come to your sides. Our next posture is Camel, Ustrasana. Press yourself up through tabletop and rise to stand on your knees. Knees are shoulder distance, maybe even a little bit wider if you do have tight shoulders. Wherever you're at today, hands come to your lower back for support. Palms face your body, fingertips face down. As you inhale, lift your gaze, lift your chin, lift your chest as you begin to round up and back. Eyes stay open, breath stays in and out through your nose. As you exhale, press your hips forward. Keep your hips stacked in line above your knees. With each inhale, that is your opportunity to try to look up and back further. If you can see the wall behind you today, I encourage you to take one hand at a time to find a C grip around your heels. Make sure the weight stays light in your hands, staying lifted through your chest to protect your lower back. On your next inhale, slowly rise up through center. Use your hands at your lower back for support if needed, and come to sit down on your heels behind you. Take a moment here to reset. Feel for the effects of Camel. Camel is a very intense back bend. This posture helps your body to release any tension or excess energy that you might be holding on to. It's okay to feel nauseous, dizzy, angry, or upset. That means you're doing the pose correctly. Second set, here we go. Press yourself through tabletop. Rise to stand on your knees. Knees are shoulder distance or slightly wider if you have tight shoulders. Hands come to your lower back for support. Inhale, lift your gaze, lift your chin, lift your chest. Eyes stay open, small, shallow sips of air in and out through your nose as you begin to round up and back. With each exhale, press your hips forward toward the wall in front of you. If you can see the wall behind you today, reach around to find the C grip around your heels. Wherever you're at today, maybe all you can manage is to look up at the ceiling. Keep yourself there, breathing in and out through your nose to work through your discomfort in this posture. On your next inhale, slowly rise up through center. Use your hands for support. Come to sit down on your heels behind you. Once again, take a moment here. Recenter, connect with your breath, and feel for the effects of Camel. Good news is that our next posture is the counter pose to Camel, so you can close up all those crazy emotions and feelings that you just flooded into your body. Sometimes to get into this next posture, rabbit pose, it can help if you separate your feet just a little bit to get the grip. Imagine you have back pockets in your leggings or your shorts as you slide your hands into those pockets to reach your heels. Thumbs on the outside, fingertips on the inside, like a Lego man hand. So the soft part of your elbow is facing the front edge of your mat. Inhale, find length up through the crown of your head, and as you exhale, tuck your chin tight to your chest, round down. Lift your hips high off of your heels as you create a capital D shape. Make sure that there is no weight here in the crown of your head. Head is lifted up off of your mat. Eyes stay open. Breath is in and out through your nose. With each inhale, lift your hips higher toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, tuck your chin tight to your chest. Draw your belly button up and in tight toward your spine. Inhale, slowly rise up through center. Hips come to your heels. Stack one vertebrae at a time. Chin is the very last to lift. As you roll down onto your sits bones for final stretching. Right leg is out long, left foot to the inside of your right thigh. Right toes stay flexed toward your face. Inhale, hands come overhead, find a basket grip. Square your body over your right leg as you exhale, round down. Find your grip underneath the bottom side of your right foot. Right toes stay flexed toward your face. And you can have a slight bend in your right knee here and bring your forehead to touch your knee. Know that the two most important parts of this posture are the forehead to knee connection and the basket grip under your foot. Once you have those two elements, then you can work over time on your flexibility as you start to extend your right leg in front of you. Now, wherever you're at here on this side, roll your left shoulder down and send your right hip to the back wall. Square your body. Inhale, rise up through center. This time, switch your legs. Left leg is extended out long, right foot to the inside of your thigh. Left toes stay flexed toward your face. Square your body over your left leg, and as you exhale, round down. Tuck your chin to your chest and get a forehead to knee connection here on this side. Bend into your left knee as much as it takes to get there today. Know that it's okay even if your knee is bent at a 90-degree angle. And on this side, roll your right shoulder down and send your left hip to the back wall. Left toes stay flexed toward your face. One last round of breath as you inhale, send your breath into the backside of your lungs. As you exhale, draw your belly button tight toward your spine, create space to round down further. Inhale as you rise up through center. And this time, extend both legs out long in front of you. Toes are flexed toward your face. Reach up overhead to find your two peace fingers. You can have a slight bend in your knees here if that feels a little bit better for your body. As you exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forward. Try to maintain a flat back as you wrap your peace fingers around your big toes. Gaze stays at your big toes to help maintain a flat back. As you inhale, find length through the crown of your head toward the wall in front of you. As you exhale, use the strength in your arms to pull your chest closer toward your thighs. One day, someday, eyebrows to touch your thumbs or even your big toes. Make sure your shoulders stay drawn down away from the sides of your head. One more round of breath. Inhale, find length. One more exhale, pull down. Inhale, rise up through center. Hands come overhead to reset your spine. Exhale, arms to your sides. Our final posture is Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes. Start with bringing your right foot up and over your left leg. Ankle is in line with the outside of your knee, toes point forward towards the front of your mat. Once there, swing your left heel back by your right hip. And if you feel unstable in this posture, like you're tipping up one side or the other, you can leave your left leg extended out long. No matter where you're at today, right hand gently plants behind you. There is little to no weight in your fingertips as you sit up straight and tall. Inhale, reach up for the ceiling with your left hand. Exhale, twist. Bring your elbow to the outside of your leg, gaze at the side wall, maybe even the wall behind you. Know that this posture is a full spinal twist, so work with your breath. As you inhale, find length up through the crown of your head toward the ceiling, and as you exhale, use leverage to your advantage. Press your arm against your leg as you twist back further. Slowly release. Coming through center, switch your legs. Left leg comes up and over, right heel swings back, or you can leave your right leg extended out long. Left hand gently plants behind you. As you inhale, sit up straight and tall. Send your right fingertips up toward the ceiling. Exhale, twist. Elbow to the outside of your leg. Gaze at the side wall or even the back wall behind you. And if it's available to you, you can reach around and find a grip here on the front of your right knee, maybe even your right ankle one day. Wherever you're at, use your breath to find a deep spinal twist. Inhale, find length through the crown of your head. One more exhale, twist back deeper, look further, and slowly release as you come through center. Come to sit down on your heels in the middle of your mat as we set up for Kapalabhati breath. In the HATHA practice, we use pranayama at the beginning to warm your body up. We use Kapalabhati at the very end to cool your body down. So in Kapalabhati breath, you focus only on your exhale, knowing that the inhale will happen naturally in your body due to pressure in our atmosphere. So for this breath, hands are lightly planted on the tops of your thighs, arms are straight and strong to keep your chest lifted and supported. Focus on each exhale by snapping your belly button up and in, creating a sh, sh, sh sound with each breath. We'll run for a count of 60. Let's begin. Sh, 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 Five, four, three, two, one. You can take one last cleansing breath here if you'd like. Inhale, draw your hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a bow to your final practice. And quickly roll over onto your back. Head towards the front edge of your mat. Feet facing the back. Allow your eyes to close. Arms fall long to your sides. Toes fall out to either edge of your mat as your heels slightly turn in. This is your final Shavasana. Your final Shavasana is the pose that you have been working so hard for over the last hour of class. So allow yourself time here to find peace and stillness. Start with a full body scan. As you work from the tip of each of your toes, up your legs, into your torso, up through your chest, down your arms to your fingers, and then back up through the crown of your head. Allow your jaw to unclench. Let your shoulders relax down away from your ears. Find a slight curl in your fingertips as your hands relax. Feel that slight rise and fall of your chest with each round of breath. Allow your eyes to softly close. In your final Shavasana, when taking your body scan, you may notice those areas where you're holding on to tension, stress, excess energy. When you find those spaces, work with your breath to release that energy from your body. With each inhale, as you take a deep breath in through your nose, send your breath to those spaces that need your help. Imagine that you're breathing in healing, white light, and love. As you send your breath to those spaces, start to watch with your mind as that energy begins to dissolve. And it is released from your body with each exhale with your breath. Once you have found that complete stillness in your physical body, you may notice that your mind will want to wander or create noise. If you find that's happening for you, bring your thoughts back to this current state, back to your breath. With each inhale, tell yourself, I am breathing in. With each exhale, I am breathing out. Start to draw your senses inward as you find that meditative state. Once you have found stillness in both your physical body and in your mind, only then are you able to truly soak up and appreciate all the benefits of your practice, whether they be mental, physical, conscious, or subconscious. Know that in yoga, the goal is not to become flexible, but the goal is to create space where you were once stuck. The goal is not to look a certain way in a certain posture, but the goal is to come to your mat with no expectation of how your practice should go. In letting go of those expectations, you let go of your ego as well, knowing that it does not serve a purpose for you here in this space on your mat. I encourage you to stay here for as long as you like or for as long as you can, to truly allow your body the peace and the time to soak up these benefits. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide for practice today. It was truly an honor. The light, the love, the student, and the teacher within me sees, honors, and humbly bows to the light, the love, to the student and the teacher within you. In sharing those qualities, you and I are the same. You and I are one. Namaste.